Hola.
Welcome to Talking Tandomness with Jenna and Curtis. This is our first
Uh,
episode, technically. In this episode, we're
oh,
gonna
this
go
is number
over.
one?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you want
I
to
thought
keep.
this was two.
The first one's kind of like our pilot. Like, you don't count the first episode of a TV show. Like, the pilot
Oh,
is
I
like
thought you did.
the taster, and then episode one comes after.
Okay. Alright, so this is one.
Yeah, so this is one. This is our introduction. In this episode, we're gonna talk about the idea of the podcast, the goals of the podcast or ideas for whatever we think it's going to end up as. And then also, I guess, introductions to ourselves prior to that. And then like a plot twist for the way we're going to do our introductions.
I mean, I guess I'm along for the ride at this point.
Yeah, this episode's my control, so the next one you get to. Um, and
I
I'm
guess I'll
trying to
just
think.
put my notes list back in.
No, you keep it up because eventually we're gonna have to like refer back to stuff. But let me pull up my notes list. So
Oh man, that one doesn't make sense.
So, we're going to start with introductions. I know I kind of went backwards in my one, two, and three, but we're going to start with introductions. We're going to just give a brief introduction of who we are, where we grew up, or anything that's like kind of background on what you want. And then at the end of our introductions, the other person is going to have to give a fun fact about the person. Does that make sense?
Oh boy. What if I just wanted to be like a dude?
Huh?
Never mind.
So like I'll give my like
Yeah,
three
you
minutes of
go
background,
first.
and at the end of me explaining like who I am and like my how I was raised or whatever I want to talk about, you're gonna give a fun fact about me
I'm sorry, you said 3 minutes?
or something. I don't know. Just like talk about yourself for a little
Ma'am,
bit.
I took
I'll talk.
I hope this part's staying in there because I took a 3 hour presentation and I shrunk it down to 2 hours.
No, I get that, but also like it's just about yourself. I'll go first. Okay. So my name's Jenna. I grew up along the Jersey Shore, but my family's from Long Island, so I kind of identify as both. I'm the middle child of three girls, which I think is an important fun fact, or a fact about me because it makes up a lot of who I am. Um, I'm 23, currently working in the an IT department of a insurance company. Um, I recently graduated college where I got a computer science degree. And
Wait, can we call it recent still?
yes, absolutely. I
Okay.
mean, I consider it's like within 2 years.
Yeah, you're right. I
Is
didn't
it?
want to be, too old, but like,
I still, when I have to introduce myself at work, I still say that I graduated a year ago. So I think it's fair.
yeah, that's fair.
Um, what else is there about me? I have played sports all my life, so part of what I'm doing now is learning to adapt to not having sports. Sports meaning I played
That one
soccer
sucks.
from 4 to 18, and I did track and field from 14 to 22, right? Those years make
Yeah,
sense. Um,
those numbers make sense.
well, that was 2 minutes right there.
Oh, it's 2 minutes?
Yeah,
I don't understand time some
I
days.
don't think,
Or at all, really.
yeah, I think that's pretty much what makes up a lot of who I am. Now you have to give a fun fact about me.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about that one.
A fun fact that's allowed to go on the internet.
Right, like, my fun fact, I don't know, my brain's either tattoos, you're short, or a third one which would make way more sense and be funnier.
What's the third one?
I don't know.
Oh, well, we could do the tattoos and then I'm short. I mean, I don't consider myself short. I'm 5'4", and I don't consider myself like the tattoo girly, but I do have
No, you're
tattoos.
not, which, like I said, neither of those make sense.
Yeah. I mean, the short one, when you see me stand next to people, it kind of feels like I'm short, but I think it's normal. Like I genuinely think 5'4" is average height for a
I
female.
mean, let's just go with that Jersey is a shorter place.
Okay, fair. Um, Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
that
I
is
have any other fun
averages net.
facts.
Huh.
What is my usual go-to fun
Interesting.
fact?
I
Um,
don't. I
oh,
don't
I
know.
could
You
say
speak Greek at home?
no, no, no. I think my fun fact could be that I studied abroad in college because I think that's my go-to fun fact at work. Is I lived in Prague for 4 months. So
Oh
now
shit.
you have to
What is my fun fact at work?
introduce yourself.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm Curtis, middle of nowhere, PA, so pretty much PA. Um, you were drunk on TV once. That's your fun fact.
Fair, fair.
Uh, middle of nowhere, PA. I've done sports for who knows how long. Not having sports is not fun. Um, unlike you, I don't have motivation to go to the gym.
Fair.
Hopefully that fit changes. I don't have a fun fact at work.
What do you work as?
I'm a recruiter. Thank you for reminding me.
In HR.
Um,
Um,
well, I mean, we can call it HR.
yeah, it's something along those lines.
Yeah, we
Um, do you
where there's two sides to my office.
do you have any siblings?
I do. I have one sibling. You're gonna just make me give all the information out.
Some stuff. Give
Um,
some background. I gave a lot. I
yeah,
think
you
that's
did.
it.
I don't like telling people about myself. That's a fun fact. But what do I don't even know what I do for my fun fact at work. I guess we don't really do fun facts. We do ate it. Hate it.
Okay, now I think I'm trying to think of a fun fact that I
Anyway,
can give for you. A fun fact for Curtis is if you ever need a recommendation for a TV show, a movie, a book,
nope,
anything,
nope, nope, nope. You need to stop talking because I will give them to you and then you ignore them.
I'm not
You
saying
say no.
I'm not saying that I take them. We have very different tastes. I'm not saying that I take them, but if anyone needs a recommendation and you say, "Oh, I have nothing to watch, Curtis, what should I watch?" Guarantees that he has a list predetermined that he will give you of books, movies, podcasts, songs, TV shows, everything under the sun. He is very much so watches everything and listens to everything.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
That's a good fun fact.
Yeah, it's a fun fact.
So then the next thing would be going into oh, I guess we should talk about how we know each other. So we're like
I mean,
college best friends, I would say, right?
makes sense. Oh, we're best friends.
Well,
We get to use that word.
I mean, yeah, I would say that,
Aw,
right?
that's sweet. I mean, I don't know. You've never really called me your best friend.
I have like three best friends, but yeah, I would consider you one
Yeah.
of them. Um, we met like freshman year of college from sports.
Freshman year of college.
I'd say we got close like the end of freshman year.
It was the middle beginning,
Yeah, and
right
then
when what's her name left.
that's what I was gonna say. I think we got close right after my breakup, or right before my
Yeah,
breakup, because I feel like that was a factor.
it was right around that time.
Um, and then we've really been friends since, which included a whole, college, a pandemic,
I mean,
emotional
I'm trying to
breakdowns.
forget college at this point.
Me
Yeah,
too.
emotional breakdowns.
Me too.
I have not had one of those in a while.
Really?
Until about, yeah, honestly, my notes app has not had another entry for like since we graduated. And I was thinking about this the other day. Man, that place was toxic.
Yeah, so I don't use my notes app to write my emotional breakdowns down, but I have like three different journals that I use, and so I ran across a TikTok that said it's good to journal because you can go back and read them and
Oh no, I don't read
what,
them.
yeah, see what you were feeling at that time. I flipped to one and then just triggered so much more issues in my
You
brain.
you remember the whole Snapchat thing I did when you were abroad?
Yeah.
The first one came up because I completely forgot about it. You know what I
Should
did?
we should we put context to that? Because I can not speak on my part. The whole Snapchat thing abroad. So me and Curtis both have a hard time speaking about our emotions, and or I have a hard time of answering texts and calls and keeping in touch with people.
Yeah,
So,
you're really hard. You're just not good at responding.
yeah, I just suck. I
There, in the past 2 weeks, I have messaged you, and granted, it's like 1 a.m. You don't answer me for ever. And then I send you another text. You respond to that text, and then don't even recognize that I sent you a text before
It's
that.
because my brain moves a million miles a minute, and the way I explain it is,
No, no, no.
I
How
in my
many
brain,
notifications do you wake up to?
not a lot. Just kidding. Well, so a lot technically. So I wake up to a lot of work emails, and then I'll open the emails, and then I'll open my text app, look at them, and then in my brain I respond, but I never actually respond. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. And speaking of work emails,
But then
I
wait.
may
Let
or
me
may
finish what I
not
was.
be opening my work laptop right now.
No, don't do that. Actually, I had to.
No, no, I need to get
No.
my I need to give myself a buffer for tomorrow morning so I can sleep a little bit.
Oh. Um, oh, going back to the Snapchat thing before I lose my train
Hmm.
of thought. So then, what we started, well, I started doing this with my best friend, my other best friend, and so I would create a Snapchat, and because I suck at expressing my
Oh,
emotions, I'd post that Snapchat story, and so she knew what was going on in my life, and I didn't have to talk about it. It was kind of already there for her. So then Curtis did that while I was abroad.
I had no knowledge that you did that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I just kind of did it because I'm like, she doesn't answer me. She won't answer anything I send her because it's just not the same time zone anywhere close to it.
No, it
And she's
wasn't.
asleep half the time. So I'll do this so that when she wakes up, she'll see it.
Yeah. And now it
And then
doesn't
she can
work.
just respond whenever.
Yeah, now the thing that sucks is I'm friends with a lot of people that are like 21 currently, and they all use Snapchat. I don't even open Snapchat anymore. So now it's like a whole new dilemma of trying to keep in touch with people. Yeah, I don't know where that tangent was going.
Yeah, I don't either. Oh, somebody's walking around.
Um, oh,
It's the
so
beauty of
then
the basement. I hear people walking.
yeah, you like completely derailed my train of thought there. I'm not doing as bad as I was. So, for the people listening, we've already recorded this once,
What is
but
going
I
on?
suck at technology, ironically, and my whole audio is messed up. So we're re-recording this. But um, the idea behind the podcast came to be roughly. I had this mapped out in the last episode, but I can't remember the timeline at this moment because my brain doesn't work with memory. Um,
You were abroad,
I think it was before I was abroad. I think it was at the
was
start
it?
of COVID when everyone was feeling like lost and alone. Um, and I'm trying to put the timeline together. So everyone was during COVID, obviously it was a pandemic, and the people that suck with emotions or suck with communicating, aka me and Curtis at the moment, um, it was kind of like a bubble where you were just trapped with your emotions, and I came to the realization of like creating a outlet where people can come and be friends and have a community without actually having to like talk to people, if that makes sense. Like you can come and listen to our podcast and feel like we're your best friends and that you're a part of the conversation and not have to actually respond. You can think your answers or email us. I think we have an email that we could put out there or something like that. Like kind of creating a community for people that suck with emotions. Or if you are good with emotions and just want to listen, that works too. Um,
Or help.
yeah, that,
We could use some help.
yeah, that, my sanity is running loose these days. Um, but then came finding a partner in it. So originally the idea was with one of my absolute best friend. The idea would be with her because our conversations can be wild and chaotic and what I would assume is so funny, but she has a career that she doesn't want to put her world on the internet. Also, I don't know if I'd want those conversations documented. So the next safe bet that I feel like we can have conversations that we can actually put on the internet and not have a fear of losing my job would be Curtis. So then I asked him, and that was a year, 2 years ago, is when I proposed the
Yep.
idea to Curtis. But I'm actually terrified of commitment and social media, which I think that's a topic that I want to cover at the end of this episode.
Commitment or social
Social
media?
media. Not commitment. Commitment's one we don't need to address yet. Um,
What is commitment?
I have no clue.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know. No, social media, because I think part of the reason that I was so scared to put my voice out there and or create something like this is because as as young kids, I would say young kids, but I feel like Twitter and that came out when we were in like sixth grade. We were always told like watch what you put on the internet because people are gonna stalk it and find you and yada yada yada. And then I don't know if you were programmed to think that, but like I was programmed to think, oh, like I have to think twice about everything I put out there. And
To a point, yeah.
yeah, and like I think it's gone too far in my brain that I'm like, oh, if I make one spelling mistake in this Instagram post, my future employer, sorry, I have the hiccups. My future employer is gonna
Oh,
find
you went
that.
that far. Oh,
Yeah.
I never went that far.
But and then the crazy thing is, so I've been like that forever because I just think about my career at the forefront and I like my career is my everything, so I don't think outside of it. And then this whole TikTok thing became a boom and like people were throwing things out there in masses of and like I watched them and I'm like, do you want your future anything to see this? Like one Google to your name, and that's when I realized that creating this podcast is not going to be that big of a deal. Like we're essentially trying to create a safe space for people, and there's so much worse out there that I could put out there that could tarnish my name. That doing this is not one of them, right? I just
Yeah,
talked for.
yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
looking at my bar. I think I just talked for a whole 5 minutes without you saying anything. So if you want to weigh in,
I mean, I didn't want to interrupt, and you were going on a good tangent. I'm, similar but not. I've wanted to give back to the internet. The internet's been a nice, fun place for me, so I wanted to give back. Um, I had multiple attempts at YouTube through other friends. Of course, you know how that goes. It doesn't. And now I'm ending up here. And that's my story. It's a lot simpler than yours, but you
yeah,
know, sometimes it is what it is.
yeah, and I think I agree. I think giving back is a really good thing. Um,
I mean, it's weird to think about it like that as like giving back to the internet, but
yeah, but I think when you get to those, sorry, I'm like these pauses are getting bad, but my brain is really just trying to comprehend what I'm trying to say before I talk on tangents. Um, I think when like I started watching YouTube when I was really, really young, and I think it was an outlet
yep.
of, which is probably why, like, you look at people and they have like massive friend groups, and like in my brain, I'm like, you probably don't have these massive friend groups because I genuinely thought these people online were my friends. Like, you go and you log on and you watch their videos for the day, or like, did you watch anyone that did Vlogmas as a kid?
I wasn't a vlog kid.
Oh, I like the British crew. I think oh my God,
I did watch a lot of British.
yeah, like Zoella and them, they did Vlogmas, and it literally felt like I would log
Oh,
on at the
that's a
end of my
vlog.
day, and I'd be like, oh, like I get to watch them, and like I wasn't worried about talking to people or messaging my friends because it was like I had something that occupied my brain.
Oh, that's where you went with it. No, I'd come home and I never really had friends
Hmm.
because I was an athlete who didn't do football, so wasn't really friends with everyone who did football. And then my other friends who didn't do sports, so I was kind of in the middle. So nobody really I was never really close with anybody. So I just kind of went home and didn't have anybody message, unlike you. Uh,
I did
I
not have
just kind of did it
people to
because it was
message. That was
like
shade thrown
you
my
you
direction.
said message people.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like other people.
Uh, mhm. Yeah, I didn't like do things. I mean, I played games with people, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
I don't know. I still feel that way today. So like the group of people that I hang out with is still kind of the same one from high school. I say hang out. I play games with them. Um, and I still feel like they don't like me.
Oh, that's just your brain.
Yeah,
Also,
my brain.
sorry, I was gonna
You
say I
got
was
that.
looking at my notes app for things to talk about, and so I was doing it while I was driving home. So it was like I was listening to podcasts, and then things would pop in my brain as an ADHD person would, and I would type it down. And I'm reading it back, going, Jenna, what were you writing?
what did I tell you about like how to do that? Just as you think of it, or as something happens, you write it up. Like recently, my TikTok has been a lot of like 8 out of 10 cats does countdown. It's a good show. Um, Not that I ever watched a full episode, but the clips and whatnot I've seen of it, it's a good show. Um, it's a UK show, so very dry humor,
Mhm.
but those shows are really good.
Mhm.
Like my favorite show, one of my favorite shows, Taskmaster, amazing show. Only in the UK. You can't do it in America. They tried it, didn't work.
I love UK humor.
All right, and start watching
Well,
Taskmaster.
I think I like UK humor because I'm a very like I think of myself as sarcastic, but no, like I don't have sarcasm in my voice, so it comes across super serious, and that's UK humor. Is they're very like straightforward sarcastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But that's like doesn't come across right in the United States.
I mean, the UK, not even the UK humor. I think they're just more okay with saying things on TV than we are.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't even remember the one. You don't want me to swear, so I won't say it. But like,
Mhm.
they're swearing in the opening of the show,
Mhm.
and then they're having the one host, draw things on the board, and it's just great, and I love it.
Mhm.
I wanted to go see that if I was going to be in London, see if I could go to see a taping of Taskmaster.
Really?
Yeah,
Um.
it's one of my favorite shows. Also, I'm done working because I finished everything I could.
What was I gonna say? So we've covered intros, we've covered the idea. I want to touch a little bit on the first episode. We might have already touched on it, but I feel like we need to throw some background out there at it. That it was just an episode to kind of get our reins on how to record, what we want to talk about, kind of record what our conversations sound like in general, which I think, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to realize that we go on a lot of like side, not tangents, but side conversations, and then like it just like we stray off the beaten path so far down the line. But I think it's fun. So that's what that first conversation, the first episode was. It was like essentially what the pilot episode would be from a TV show back in the 2010 era, right?
I know your fun fact now.
Oh no, what is it?
You've never seen any of the original animated Disney movies.
No, that's such a lie. I have seen them.
All right, you haven't seen Pixar.
No, I have, but I
Which
don't
ones?
like. I didn't watch the animated Lion King until high school.
Like the original Lion King.
Yeah.
Have you watched Toy Story?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we're making
Is the
progress. You
Bee
haven't
Movie
watched The
Pixar?
Incredibles though.
Yes, I have.
No, that's DreamWorks.
Oh, I have watched The
You watched The
Incredibles.
Incredibles?
Yes.
That is not what you texted me the other night.
I beg to differ.
I will pull up the receipts.
What night?
It was before before that whole conversation that we found out about yesterday. Still think that's weird. Don't care if it's only a year. Still weird. Um, I'm gonna have to search Incredibles. The message follow-up question. You not watching animated stuff, does that mean you've never seen The Incredibles? No.
Wait, when was
Okay, maybe I
this?
misread that. This was Saturday. No, you have seen it, or no, you haven't seen it. Have not seen it. Saturday at 2:04
Oh
a.m.
my
at
god,
6:56
no.
a.m.
That was a response to the text message to before that.
See, then I clarified, Jenna. This is where I don't know what this falls under, but when I say no, you have seen it, or no, you haven't seen it, and then you say have not seen it.
No, I don't think I read that message right. I read anime, not animated. So when you said animated, I read follow-up question, you not watching anime stuff. Does that mean you've
All
never
right,
seen Incredible?
I will take The Incredibles off of my movie list.
Oh,
That makes it a little bit
so
easier.
that got cut out because we threw away that first
Yeah.
episode. So I don't know how much of that last segment we're gonna keep because I was feel like I was confused there for a whole hot second. But part of our goal, obviously, in creating a community like this, would be to do things as the community. And Curtis created the idea of having weekly, monthly, bi-monthly something movie nights where we all can log on and watch movies together because in listening to the last
This is
segment,
really just a way to make you watch the Spider-Verse
I
movies.
was
This
gonna
is this is a
say,
long and convoluted way of me just wanting to make you watch things, and this is the only way I can make it happen.
I was gonna,
Because every time we try to watch something, Sherlock Holmes, or I guess it's just Sherlock, uh, The Witcher.
okay, so let me defend myself here. And in light of what we just talked about last about me not watching animated movies, um, I don't watch a lot of the things Curtis watches because I am a romance
You
girly.
picked out Sherlock.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think classes started and I couldn't finish
No,
it.
you fell asleep.
Okay,
And then I didn't
well,
know you fell asleep, and I got 3 episodes ahead of you.
okay, I am not the type of person that sits down and watches things for long periods of time unless I've already previously watched it and I know it's my cup of tea. But I'm also completely a romance girly, and Curtis is not a. Curtis is an animated comedy type person. I hate comedy. Um, that could have been my fun fact for you, Curtis, because you tell everyone that.
I forget about that, you know.
Um,
I do forget.
but
You know what I hate?
that's where
We'll
this
get into
idea
that
came from
after
is that
this.
we have very, very different taste in things. So if we schedule these nights where we can go watch movies and hang out and pause and gossip about what's going on in the movie or whatever we're going to end up doing, it's going to make us actually take the time to listen to each other's and watch each other's favorite things.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Totally no ulterior motive
Well,
of, you know.
oh, I hate animated movies. That'll be my dread day.
No, but, like,
I would watch the Tom Holland ones because I like Tom Holland, but I don't.
these are so much better. Tom Holland's in it. Tom Holland's in the second one.
I don't know. I don't know.
So is, Childish Gambino. Or Donald Glover. However you know him. He's in it. Tobey Maguire's in the second one.
Hmm.
Andrew Garfield's in the second one.
I'm not a
There's
Marvel
still
person
walking around.
either. I tried watching Black Panther on 3 different occasions and fell asleep during it, but we'll
I
figure it
don't
out.
like I don't like the Avengers movies. They can come at me, but I don't like Avengers movies. I just like the Spider-Verse movies. They're just great.
Hmm.
And you know, the other thing about the animated movies, especially this one, is that there's actual care put into it.
Hmm.
It's not like acting where they can just, fake it. You can't fake art.
Very true. I do. I like that idea behind it.
Yeah, see, and that's why it's just better.
Mm. I don't know. Um,
Anyway,
so for the last segment, because I do want to keep this episode like kind of short and sweet since it's the intro, I feel like this is a good segment or a good conversation to talk about to kind of get their overall feel for me and you. So I was listening to I don't think it was a TikTok and I don't think it was like a reel or anything. I think it was like a short video on YouTube or something that popped up, and it was talking about introverts and extroverts and how everyone thinks they're introverts are like anti-social and all of this, but it compared, and if I could ever find that video again, I'll reference it somewhere, but it talks about how in like essentially like it talks about them as a coin system. So when introverts go in public and have like go to parties or something like that, they start with 5 coins, and it's like every interaction you subtract a coin almost, and it's like that going to public drains their social battery, kind of like they spend their coins and
hmm
they have to go and they have to recharge the battery, I guess that would be. And extroverts go out with 0 coins, and it's like social interaction. Every social interaction they have, they gain a coin. So they come back and they're full, and they have like, they're full of charge through that social interaction. And I like that idea. and it kind of made me rethink my stance on if I'm an introvert or an extrovert, because I've always said, well, for a while I was saying that I'm an extroverted introvert. Found out the term for that's an ambivert. Um, so I always thought I was both because like if you meet me in person, and I think Curtis can relate to like talk about this, is I'm very, I can talk to a brick wall. I could talk to everyone. I'm very very outgoing, but in my like I my social battery gets killed really quick. Like I come home after going out and seeing people and I'm like, "Oh, that was my social interaction for the week." But because of that coin analogy, my brain thinks I'm introverted now.
Interesting.
Right? Because that coin analogy relates to me being able to go out and have those social interactions, but my battery gets drained and I need to go home and recharge. Unless there's a
Yeah.
whole nother idea for being an ambivert for that, and I'm still introverted and extroverted at the same time. Opinions?
Yeah. I'm trying to think because tired brain's really kicking in. Um, if we're going off of that whole battery analogy, I've had 4 days straight of having to interact with a lot of people.
And you
Uh,
are introverted.
I'm very much I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go put my AirPods in, run to Target, and then somewhere else, just on the off chance I'm trying to find something, and then, having a nice day, going to Dick's while I'm out, and then I made my way into Walmart that day. There was about 10 people too many in my way when I'm trying to walk back. I turn immediately around with my headphones in and walk straight out the door, and my day was ruined.
Oh,
Just too many people.
yeah,
But I've had a long people-filled week.
yeah. But so,
I mean,
so take away. So do you think that coin analogy like makes sense in that, or do you think?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it kind
I
of blew
mean,
my mind with
it.
it because I feel like as a society we always think of introverts as the people that are like, oh, I'm gonna sit in my room in a dark room and play on my computer or listen to my phone and do nothing else. But I think it's kind of shining a light on no, all people can go out and have conversations and stuff. It's just how it takes a toll on you that makes you introverted or extroverted.
Yeah, I mean, I've always gone with the battery analogy. Like, I remember when, what was it, sophomore year? It had to be sophomore year. And a couple of your friends from home came up to school,
Mhm.
and it was like a Friday night, and I never went out on Fridays. And so I'd gone out to hang out with them, and it was like, all right, well, now I can't do anything Saturday because it was too much.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I've always gone with the battery analogy, and that's just what
See,
made
I've
sense to
never
me.
see I've heard of like because I'm the queen of saying like my social battery is depleted or
Hmm.
like I'm overstimulated and my social battery is draining or something like that. But I never thought of it. I don't know. I never thought of being introverted and extroverted as like a social battery type thing. I always thought because I was always told like when you talk to people that are like I'm introverted, I keep saying the word like, I'm so sorry. When you talk to people that are introverted, they always say, "Oh, I just like my alone time." And I just like being by myself. So in my brain like that's what made an introvert, but I think
Yeah.
by defining it as the 5 coins or whatever you want to say, like that just changed the whole game for it.
I mean, I don't like being alone, but there's times where, like, after a major thing, like, with a lot of people or something that's just, like, really aggressive people, not like aggressive,
Mhm.
but like high energy
Yeah, like the
people, like that
outgoing
next
crew.
day, yeah, the next day I cannot interact with people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow when I don't have to go anywhere. I can just stay in my house and interact with no one.
Are you
I
working from
have
home?
no meetings. Oh, I'm working from home. It's my first day working from home this week. Um, I have no meetings. It's my first chance of the week to kind of like catch up on work, and I have a report that I need to send out tomorrow
Mhm.
that I'll probably turn around and send on Monday again because that's how many. Man, now I realize that the report's not going to be back on the schedule. I'm going to have to do it on Fridays. Anyway, that's a me problem that I don't know how I'm going to fix.
I'm looking at my calendar for tomorrow.
It's
Um,
either gonna take 5 weeks to fix, or I just say screw it, and I do it. I could make it a little bit faster. I can make it 2 weeks. I just do it on Wednesday and then Monday. Anyway, that's a me problem that I'm thinking about now. Yeah,
I
no,
have
I'm
meetings.
really.
I have meetings. Sorry, I want you started talking about
Oh
work, so
no.
I pulled it up. I have meetings from 8 a.m. all the way until 12:30, and they're all half-hour meetings.
In person or online?
Online. I'm not going. I don't go in person on Fridays.
Oh,
That's
that's.
that's something we can talk about. Um, the fact that in person has changed my life. I mean, hybrid has changed my life because let me tell you, work from home days, best days ever.
I
Would
just
you
enjoy not
agree?
having to. Well, I mean, I'll agree from the standpoint of I get a lot more done on work from home days than I do on office days because if I go into the office and there's multiple people there, even if it's just one person, work doesn't get done in my office.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Like, yeah, we have two different jobs.
Mhm.
My job and all my coworkers' job is to be social,
Yeah.
and so we get to work, and if it's a day where we're all there, no work gets done. If my office, everyone's there, no work will get done that day because there's just too much going on where all of us are talking that no one can do anything.
Yeah.
Like we will sit in an office, like hit a balloon round for an hour before we're like, we should probably get back to work now. And then we all go back to our offices and we just keep talking to the people in our offices. Um, it's just, I enjoy the people I work with. I could do that a lot,
Mhm.
but nothing gets done.
Yeah, I don't think I can get in trouble for saying this because like everyone at my company knows it. But the IT at my company, we're so meeting focused, but we don't have like meetings in person when we're in the office. Like we all go and sit at our desks and take our meetings from our desks because not everyone is like in the office.
Yeah,
So it's like I go to the office and I sit at my desk because I have 6.5 hours worth of meetings, and it's just like that part is just exhausting. So when I work from home, being able to it's just the simple things of like getting food and bringing it to your desk in the meetings and having that escape because when you're in the office you don't get that escape from your desk.
hmm,
But yeah, yeah, I'm work from home tomorrow and I love it. Thank you for listening. Um, we're not a visual podcast strictly because I want people to be able to multitask and how to do this while you're running or walking or driving and stuff like that. And I don't believe in watching videos while you drive. Maybe in the future, we don't know where it's going to end up. But as of right now, it's just an audio podcast. And thank you guys so much for listening.